how much traction does someone need to get funded, let's say, in 2026?
Yeah.
And like, because I meet people all the time who like, well, I meet two groups of people. They
Mhm.
don't have any traction. They kind of have an idea, maybe the prototype. And like, I think those are always been hard to get funded, even in a
Yeah.
good environment. So
Yeah. But especially now. Yeah.
I already have an opinion on that one.
Right. That
So
one's
the question
easier.
is like,
Yeah.
how much, because then I meet people, they have traction. But like, how much traction? Like, how would you
Yeah.
explain that? Like, okay.
Right. Yeah, so I think on the pre-seed side, well, one, I think, yeah, in this day and age of AI and vibe coding tools and, Lovable and all the good things that and Replit and else, you should be able to at least put something together, right? Even if it's some feature of one part of your product that solves a material problem, like just being able to put that in place, just to show your product thinking, your customer centricity, your design ethos, like all of that stuff, you could do something. So if you don't show up with even that, then you've got a problem. But let's say, okay, you at least solve that. And now you go out and talk to a whole bunch of customers. So maybe you've just done a ton of great customer development. And you're raising a true like pre-seed round, right? If you're raising a true pre-seed round, then it's fine. Then I think as long as you've kind of built something, you have a nice website, you have some early version of the product, you've talked to probably at least 100 customers, maybe, 50 to 100. And if you're in consumer, you probably had it in front of thousands. That's what's necessary to at least get the pre-seed conversation started. And that means that's an institutional pre-seed. That's our, friends at, Precursor Ventures, Afore, Pair. These are your classic kind of pre-seed investors. They're invest very, very early. And they're going to need to see something, like this to be able to make a bet. And then if you're looking for a seed round, well, then you better have revenue and you better have, a kind of a meaningful amount of paying customers. You need to have tested pricing, maybe with a handful of them, seen how it works. And now you've got to be headed in a direction in which it's clear that there are people paying for your product. You're solving their problem. The NPS score is at least, high and trending up even higher. Those sort of things then matter a lot. But for the pre-seed, if you could just at least get that functional part together, then you can run a kind of institutional grade, pre-seed process, knowing that, you might raise somewhere between $500,000 to $1.25 million, or maybe even up to $2 million for an early stage company. But again, the onus is the bar has gone up. The onus has gone higher on the founder to go figure this out more so than ever before.
Okay, that was good. Paul, do you have any other questions?
Nope.
I think I got one more to close out this segment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
This is great.
Okay. This is another perennial Twitter debate. LLC or
C Corp
or S Corp.
C Corp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know where you're going with it. I think if you're building a serious,
you beat me to the punch on that one. Okay.
Sorry, I know where this one's going. If you're building a long-term, serious startup, and your intent is to raise institutional capital, it's got to be a Delaware C Corp. You just make your life easier, make everyone's life easier, and just do it. If you're building a services business, anything else, in and around the startup ecosystem that serves startups, or, you're doing something that is a more small business, by all means, LLC is the better structure from a taxation perspective, and, a whole bunch of other things. Not financial or tax advice, talk to your people. But, the point is, I think if you're doing one thing I will say is if you're doing a venture-backed startup, that one is a Delaware C Corp, for sure. Yeah.
All right. You heard it here.
Yeah.
Confirmed.
Yes.
All those LLC people out there. Oh my God.
No chance.